Less than 2 weeks to file our federal income tax returns, and one of the main reasons people put it off is the fear of owing Uncle Sam a chunk of money. Well, our tax expert is here to tell us how to handle that uncomfortable situation.
Welcome to another Tax Tip Tuesday. I'm joined by Lori Carpenter of Stadler Company. Thanks for being here, Lori. Let's talk about less than 2 weeks before the deadline. Why did they switch it from the 15th to the 18th?
Anytime there is a holiday on the 15th or it's on the weekend, it gets moved to the next business day. So that's why we've got Monday the 18th as a deadline this year.
Some people might owe. What advice do you have to them?
Make sure you pay what you can to try to minimize that penalty and interest.
All right. Is there a way, if it's a large amount of money, someone can't afford to pay that large amount, can they break that up in payments? They
can. There's several different options, and without going into too much detail, there are options that allow you to break it into payments. There's installment agreement options. There's some options where you might be able to lower what you're paying, but there are some options to help you out.
What advice would you give for someone who just says, I don't have the money, I'm just not going to pay it? What advice would you give them?
Well, when that happens, if you don't file and you don't pay, you end up getting a non-filing penalty and a non-payment penalty, and those can just make a small balance due blossom into a huge balance that's really hard to overcome. So it's better to not just stick your head in the sand and ignore it. You really want to try to deal with it.
So if you do owe a lot, what is something that someone could do maybe this year so that they don't owe a lot next year?
Well, I think tax planning is one of the most important parts of this, and that is if you know what's causing it, and we can help you figure that out, but if you know what's causing you to owe, then you can adjust it or change what's happening there so that you're not in this situation again.
What if somebody just hasn't owed, for a while, and they're going to face the IRS this year, maybe owing? What advice would you have?
If they haven't filed for a while?
Yeah.
So if they haven't filed, that's one of the things that we do is we stay with somebody every step of the way. We can get permission from them to talk to the IRS for them so that they don't have to face somebody and be nervous about it.
I like the fact, and we're having talked about this, but for me, that you mentioned, if you do have a problem, you kind of have that direct line where you gotta call in there, and because sometimes you can be on the phone for the IRS I've been on the phone one time for about 2 or 3 hours. You're just waiting on hold, and finally you get to talk to someone, but you have a little bit of an in there.
Just a little bit. They have a practitioner priority line that lets us get through to somebody, so they know that we're experts. We've dealt with them before, and so sometimes the wait is a little bit less there, but we've sat on hold those long times too.
You guys are the experts. If someone wants to make an appointment with you, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Give us a call at 812-478-2800 or check out our website at stadlertax.com.
And walk-ins are available.
And they are.
All right. Thank you, Lori.